If you've ever suffered a hard drive crash, you understand how important a backup can be. I had a little bit of a glitch on my Mac system. I moved something, bumped it, and it's totally screwed up my drives. Had to get that recovered, and then I found out that I had a problem running Luminar. So I'm going to take you in and show you exactly what happened to me and why it's important to occasionally go ahead and run a manual backup. Hi, my name is William Beem. I'm a photographer in Central Florida. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've come here before and you're watching another video, thank you very much. Welcome back. I appreciate you. Now, here's what's going on. Today, I found out that when I started up Luminar AI after a recent problem with my hard drive setup, that none of my photos were there. They were all in the lost edits. If you haven't seen this before, lost edits shows up when Luminar's catalog can no longer find some of the photos that you've imported. So why don't we go ahead and take a look in the user interface and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm in Luminar. Over here under the catalog, typically this is where you're going to find certain things. Lost edits is one of them. If you see this, what it means is that if you click on it, and it doesn't show right here. If you click on lost edits, it will show you photographs. There's a thumbnail that it'll have of a photo that the catalog knows you had at one point, but doesn't know where the actual photo file is anymore. Well, my lost edits showed all of my photographs. When I looked into this demo folder, there was nothing there. Instead of 64, it said 0. What happened with this? Let me show you on my desktop. You can see that I've got a number of drives over here. This one called RAID. That's where I keep my user profile. Something happened when I moved the drives on my desk, and I hadn't properly shut down the computer before I made the move. I thought I was just going to rearrange them. Well, that really freaked out MacOS, and it renamed my RAID array. So instead of just RAID, it made it RAID space 1. And then when I booted up again, everything looked like a brand new Mac setting up for the first time. So because it was going to RAID /users/William instead of RAID space 1 /users/William. That really gave me a bit of a fright. I knew all of my data was there, but it wasn't showing up in my profile. So once we got that settled and figured out, I thought, great, everything's back to normal. Until I started up Luminar. And when I looked in Luminar AI, I had nothing but garbage really inside of my account. So none of my photos were there. I looked at demo and I thought, okay, let me right click on it and say show in Finder. Nothing was coming up. So typically this is what you would see. Like you would find my folder is called demo, and inside of that folder are all of my photographs. But nothing was coming up. It couldn't even find the folder. That's because the catalog started under RAID /users/William and on down the path. It couldn't find that because it didn't exist anymore as far as my operating system was concerned. My catalog was completely obliterated. So I thought, okay, I need to do a restore. If you come over to Luminar and File, Catalog, you can create a new one. You can open an existing catalog, and you can also back up or restore from backup. I thought I just need to restore from backup. Unfortunately, that didn't work. Didn't work one bit because as you can see here, everything was grayed out. And this is actually from a recent one. If I go over here to backups, this is one I did today. And then you can see on January 28th, 2021, I'm recording this on February 3rd, I think. You can see that I have backups, but I can't do anything with them. And if you look in these folders called states, I can't do anything with those either. The difference is the path, because my volume, RAID, is now RAID space 1. And at least that's my suspicion as to why those backups aren't doing anything for me. In my case, this was just a demo folder. I didn't really worry about it too much. I had all the photographs. I hadn't lost any data. I deleted the catalog. When you delete your catalog, you lose all of your edits. And like I said, for this one, it really wasn't a problem because it was a demo. But if you're working with your stuff, you lose all of your edits. That's not a good thing. So I would recommend that you keep regular manual backups. If you run into a situation like mine where a volume name changed, you're probably going to have to change the volume name back in order to restore those backups. So that's something to keep in mind. Sometimes computers just really don't like us and things like that happen. So let's take a look at two things. We'll go under File, Catalog, and Backup. Luminar does have a lot of capabilities where you can see there were a lot of backups. I'd never made one before, but you can go in here, select backup. And this may be a Mac only thing. If you're running Windows and you don't see this, don't worry. I think when I was reading the manual that this may be an option for Mac only. So you can see where you want to save it. And there's a folder called backups. And I've got all of these subfolders in there. So I can create a different name here. So let's say, I'm going to call this one Demo 2, since I've already got one created named Demo. And I'm going to say save. And it goes through and it creates a backup. If you need to, you can go over here to File, Catalog, Restore from Backup. And now you see I've got Demo 2 here. And if you go back further, there's my original one that I made earlier today, Demo. So keep in mind on your backups folder where you're going to have all these resources. The catalog is looking at the volume name that you have. And if you run into a situation like mine, you may need to make sure that you're on the same volume name in order for this backup to work. I'm going to go ahead and submit this into Skylum just to get their take on it, but I suspect that it is the volume name. It's caused me some other problems on my Mac, and it was simply a matter of I was moving it and something with the cables glitched and the computer glitched. So if you're going to be moving your volumes around, if you have external drives like I do, shut the computer off first, then make the move. I thought it was a simple thing of just sliding it someplace on the desk, but something the Mac did not like about it. And anyways, make your backups. It's good that Luminar AI does do backups for you, but on occasion, make your own backup, and you may want to store that or make a copy of that on another external drive, just in case if you have a complete failure, your backup isn't limited to the one that's on the drive that failed to you. Hey, thanks so much for your time and attention today. I hope this was helpful to you. If you like this video, please go ahead, click the like button. That lets YouTube know to tell other people about this. And please go ahead, subscribe. And if you want to see more videos, click the bell notification icon. You'll get a notice next time I create a video. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.